In this video, we're going to be making this blog step by step from start to finish. Some of the interesting things about this blog are its news ticker at the top, which doesn't necessarily have to be used for news. What it does is scroll through your most recent blog post. So if the title catches someone's eye, then they can simply mouse over the news ticker and then they can open up the article. Some other interesting things about this theme is that it's highly aesthetic. It has a very nice parallax background, which means when you scroll, the background stays in the same place, and it makes for a really nice effect between the background and the rest of the blog. In this blog, we've also implemented an email mailing list, so anyone that views your website will be able to sign up for your mail list. Some benefits of a mailing list include being able to market to your viewers. For example, you could use your emailing list to sell digital courses. You could also use your emailing list to sell merchandise. And you could also just use it to send out email blasts, letting people know if a new post comes out that you really want everyone to see. I also implemented this contact form, which comes with a very effective CAPTCHA, which means that it's going to cut down on spam significantly. So this is really important, and I'm going to show you how to set that up. One other nice thing about this blog is that the new posts go to the top of the screen. Out of all of these posts here, the post on cherries is the most recent post. I also want to show you the hero banner. So if I go into customize here, you can see that if I go down to where it says hero and enable the hero section and hit publish, what we have is a really nice hero section, which is basically a really nice banner where anyone could come and click on your most recent article. So this really stands out in this blog. If we go ahead and get rid of the hero section here really quick, I'm going to show you one more thing called the featured items. So if we click on this under featured items and enable the featured items section, you can see that we get 3 different articles that will stay at the top of your blog for as long as you leave them there. Therefore, if you have articles that you want your viewers to see, but you don't want them to get buried down underneath your most recent posts, you can put them in the featured post section and your visitors can click on them from right here. It also has a very nice background effect when you mouse over. Another cool thing about this blog is it's a dark mode. So if we click on this picture of a moon right here, what we get is this very nice dark theme, where if we scroll down, you can see everything matches up quite nicely with the colors. I just want to click on one of the articles really quick so you can see what they look like. So I'm going to go back to the light theme, and you can see that this is an article about cherries. So if we scroll down, we have some placeholder text, and if we keep going, what we've implemented is a social media sharing bar. I would say one other interesting thing about this blog is the sticky header. What this theme has implemented is a separate sticky header bar that will display no matter how far down the page you go. There's also this nice little button at the bottom right where you can click on it, or if you're on a phone, you can use your thumb, and when you press on it, it brings you to the top of the screen. If you have a lot of posts on your homepage, it could come in really handy. We also have a search bar right here. We have some recent posts in our sidebar here. We have a recent comments section, a section for different categories, and finally our email capture form where we can get visitors to sign up to your email list, which I'm going to go through step by step. There's also this very nice posts you might like section at the bottom of the page, followed by the footer, where I've decided to put a link to my YouTube channel, a category section, and another email capture form. So with that out of the way, we can get right into the video. However, there is a couple things that I want to explain. The theme for this website is completely free, so you won't have to pay any money for the theme. However, there are some costs involved, although they are pretty minimal. Number one is you're going to want to figure out what you want your website domain to be. So for example, if you had a bookstore, you could call it shellysbooks.com. The second thing is you're going to need web hosting so that you can store your web files online, and so the website is working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days per year. We also need to install WordPress, which is completely free, and we go over this. The last step is making the blog, and we'll go over this step by step. The total cost is anywhere between $36 and $37 US, which is actually not that bad considering for that cost you get a full 12 months of web hosting. Next, I'd like to talk about web hosting and domains just a little bit further so that you really have a grasp of what we're talking about in this video and why you need these things for a website. So I found this definition of a domain name, and I found it to be a very good, straight to the point explanation. So a domain name is a unique, easy to remember address used to access websites such as google.com and facebook.com. If we didn't have domain names, we would have to access the web using IP addresses, which are strictly numbers. For example, http 192.236.11.17. These are clearly more difficult to remember, and this is the reason why it's so important that we use domain names, which are typically $9 to $10 per year, but with the web hosting, you're going to get a free domain that's going to last you for 12 months before you have to renew, at most likely a cost of around $10, give or take. Web hosting is what allows your website to be online 24/7, and it also allows it to be seen by visitors from all over the world. The web host is where all of your website files are stored. It's basically just a computer that's connected to the internet and is online 24/7. This means visitors can access your website all hours of the day, no matter what time zone they're located in. I recommend SiteGround because the tests I ran showed that it had the fastest response times of the web hosts that I've gone through, which is about 5 different web hosts I've tried at this point. SiteGround includes a free domain when you choose a term of 12 months or longer, and the 12-month term is only $2.99 per month, paid by the year, which means you would owe around $36 to $37 for your entire first year. So it's quite affordable. That, along with the reasons in the last slide, is the reason that I'll be promoting SiteGround as a top choice in my videos. If you do take my recommendation and decide to use SiteGround, this will allow you to follow the tutorial a lot easier because you will be using the same web host as I'm using in the video. If you do choose SiteGround as your web host, using my link is the only way that I will get any commission. You will not get charged anything extra by using my link, but you will be helping me out a ton if you do choose to use it. But clicking the link as opposed to typing in the website directly will help me a ton. So please, if you choose to use SiteGround, use the link in the description or the link in the pinned comment, and that way SiteGround will recognize that I was the one that referred them to their company. Thank you. If you want to follow along exactly with the tutorial, then all you have to do is click on my link. So what we're going to want to do is scroll down to where it says WordPress hosting and click on view plans. And the first plan for $2.99 a month is the cheapest plan, but it only allows you one website. A lot of people that are watching right now are only going to want one website, so this would be fine for you. I have multiple websites, so I would be going with the Grow Big plan, which is unlimited websites. And the $2.99 a month for the startup, this is only for the first 12 months, and then you have to pay $17.99 as a regular rate. And then if you want the plan that has unlimited websites, that is $4.99 a month for the first 12 months, and then after that you would be paying $29.99. So I'm going to select Grow Big and hit Get Plan, and then you can put in your domain because you're going to get a free domain with any yearly plan that you pay for. So I'm going to pick wptuts101.com, and I would suggest that you also use a .com. It's the most familiar domain extension that you can use, so this is what I would recommend. So I'm going to click on Continue. So now we have to select a password. You want to pick something that has at least one letter, at least one number, and then I believe it says also at least one symbol. So I have a password here I'm going to put in, and I'm going to confirm it. Then you just got to put in your address and your name, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then you just have to put in your payment information. So for my plan, it's going to cost me $59.88 with a small amount of tax. And so I'm just going to go up here where it says card number. I'm going to put my information in. And then where it says purchase information, you can pick 1 month, 12 months, or 24 months. We're going to click 12 months because that's the best deal. For extra services, it has domain registration, which is free. And then it has domain privacy. So if you are concerned about being solicited to, then I would add this as an extra, but it's not completely necessary. And then it also has something called Site Scanner, which is something that checks your website and notifies you if you've been hacked. And then it has 2 checkboxes that you can check. The last one is just about receiving news and solicitations, so I'm going to leave that unchecked. And I'm going to click on Pay Now. Okay, so it says your account was successfully created. Now all we have to do is click on Proceed to Client Area. And then you can log in. So here I'm going to log in. And then I'm going to click on Stay Logged In. And we're in. So now all we have to do is click on where it says Set Up Site. And you're going to want where it says Existing Domain. Make sure you click on this. And then it should have the domain that you got for free during your registration. So now I'm going to click on Continue. And then I'm going to click on Start New Website. And then you're going to want to click on WordPress. Make sure the login information for your website is something that you write down, because this is something that you're going to need later. So I'm just going to type in my password again. And then click on Continue. Site Scanner and Domain Privacy is giving you this option, but we already went over these while we signed up. So we're just going to skip that and click on Finish. Now it's building out your WordPress site, so you just have to give it a minute. And then we're going to want to click on WordPress. And click on where it says Install and Manage. And you can see it has your WordPress domain right here. So then what we're going to want to do is open your domain. So all you have to do is select your domain and copy it by doing Control-C on Windows or Command-C on Mac. And I'm going to open a new tab. And I'm going to paste it in. And I'm going to put WP-admin at the end. Then what you're going to want to do is click on Enter. And then all we have to do is add the credentials that we wrote down earlier for our WordPress install. So I'm just going to do that and log in really fast. Click where it says Remember Me. Then click on Login. And then you can click on Exit Wizard. So now we have our website and we have the dashboard. If we click on where it says My WordPress and then click on Visit Site, this is going to be what you should see. So it says My WordPress, and then it has a header here with a photograph over here. And this is basically just your default installation of WordPress. So what we're going to want to do to customize this for a blog, we have to actually change the theme. The good news is the theme we're going to use is completely free. So to do that, go to where it says My WordPress and then click on Themes. So what you want to do is go up to the top left here and click on Add New Theme. And where it says Search, you're going to type in Blog VI and hit Enter. Then you want to click on Install and then Activate. Then what we could do is click on Live Preview. So what we're going to want to do is hit the X right here at the top left. And then click on OK. And then we're going to want to create our categories for the blog. So what you want to do is go to Posts and then go to Categories. And this is where we can put our categories. So I'm going to do a blog based on fruits. So the first category I'm going to call Strawberries. And now for slug, you can leave that blank. And parent category, we can also leave that blank. All you have to do is click on Add New Category. And now we have a new category called Strawberries. But what I would like to do is capitalize the first letter. So I'm going to click Edit. And then where it says Name, I'm going to put a capital S. And where it says Slug, I'm going to leave it all lowercase because that's usually how the slug works. So click on Go Back to Categories. And now I'm going to type Oranges. Leave Slug empty. And again, click on Add New Category. Then I'm going to type Cherries. And click on Add New Category. Then I'm going to type Berries and click on Add New Category. And that gives us 4 different categories, and that should be good for now. So now that we have all our categories, what we want to do is check the page once again. So go to where it says My WordPress, Visit Site, and I would right click that and click on Open Link in New Tab. So we go here. and you could see that it doesn't show anything. Even for categories, it shows no categories, and the only reason for that is we haven't written out our blog posts yet. So what we want to do now is create 4 blog posts to go along with our 4 categories. So to do that, we're going to want to go to where it says My WordPress and click on Dashboard. Then we want to go to Posts and click on All Posts. So then we want to click where it says Add New Posts. And where it says title, I'm just going to type strawberries. And then what we want to do is open up a new tab and go to Google. So I'm going to go to google.com, and once it opens up, I'm going to type in Pixabay, and I'm going to click on the top link here. So Pixabay is a royalty-free image site, so that means you can use any images you find on this site without paying royalties. So what we're going to do is type in strawberries, hit enter, and we need to find a picture of strawberries that we like. I like this one right here, so I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to go to where it says download, and I want to leave the default here, so I'm just going to click download again, and now I have an image of our strawberry. So we'll just leave this tab open because we'll have to go back here again. So for our strawberries article, I want to set categories. So if you go to the right side of the page, you can see you have strawberries here. So I'm just going to click on strawberries, and since strawberries are technically a berry, we can click on where it says berries too and give it a second category. For tags, we could type strawberry and then put comma, and you could put whatever you want here. I'm going to type in berries and then put another comma. So there's 2 tags. Now we have to set our featured image, so that's going to be the image for the blog post. So we like that picture of the strawberries that we found. So what we have to do now is upload it. So you're going to want to click on select files, pick our strawberry, click set featured image. We're going to leave it like that, and now we're going to go to another tab. So I have another tab open right here. Then we're going to go to google.com, and you want to type in lorem ipsum generator, and then you want to click on the top link right here, and all this is going to do is give us some placeholder text for our article. Since we're not really creating a real article right now, I'm mainly just trying to show for demonstration purposes. So what we want to do is click on generate here. So what this is going to do is generate 5 paragraphs of placeholder text. So now all we have to do is click on copy, and then go back to our tab that had the posts, and we want to click the plus and then click on paragraph, and now all we have to do is right click and go to paste, and if you're on Mac you can do Command V as in Victor, and it will also paste it just like that. So now all we have to do is publish the article, and then you have to click publish for a second time, and now it's done. So all we have to do now is click on the X right here, and there's a little icon right here that says view post. We want to click on that, and that's going to open our post in a new window. So here's our post about strawberries, and then you can see our placeholder text. So this all looks really good, and I just want to see what it looks like on the home page. So what I'm going to do is mouse over where it says My WordPress and click on that. And you can see here's our first post about strawberries. So what I want to do is do this 3 more times with a few different fruits, and then we're going to go and make some other adjustments. So what we have to do is go to My WordPress and go to Dashboard, go to Posts and then Add New Post, and then type in oranges. And for the little plus button, we're going to use our placeholder text again. So we can use the same text that we got before, or we can make some new ones. So I'm going to go to our lorem ipsum generator and generate some new text. And then I'm going to click on copy. Now I'm just going to go back to our other tab where it says oranges. I'm going to click right here. I'm going to do right click and paste, or Command V as in Victor if you're on Mac. And now we have our text. What we haven't done yet is we haven't added a category, and we haven't added a featured image. So what we have to do is click where it says posts, where it says categories, click on oranges. You could add some tags here if you want, so I'll just type oranges and then put a comma. And for featured image, we're going to click on set featured image, And we're going to go to select files and upload a picture of oranges. Now, since you don't have pictures of oranges yet, what we want to do is go to where the Pixabay tab is, and we're going to want to go to the top and type in oranges. And you can see there's some really good images here. So I'm going to click on the picture right here, and I'm going to left click where it says download, and then click on download again. Then we're going to go back to our tab where it says add new post. We're going to click on select files, go to the download folder for your browser, and double click this picture of an orange, or actually it looks like a tangerine. But either way, I'm going to use this image because I think it looks good. And then we're going to click on set featured image. And now we have everything in place. So all we have to do is click on publish and then publish again. So if we click the X and click on this little button right here next to where it says update, it's going to open a new tab, and you can see here's our post with placeholder text for oranges. And if we scroll down, you can also see it says previous post, and it shows our strawberry post we did previously. So what we're going to do is click on My WordPress and see how the home page looks. You see it has our 2 articles here, so that's really good. So this is really good. So I'm going to build out 2 more posts really quickly by going to My WordPress, Dashboard, Posts, Add New Posts. This is going to be our berries post, so I'm going to type in berries. For our text, I'm just going to right click and paste in the same text from before. I'm going to scroll up, and then to the right, I'm going to go to posts. Then I'm going to go to where it says berries. And you can add a tag if you want. I'll just type in berries and then put comma. For featured image, we're going to click on set featured image. Click on select files. And then we want to pick an image of berries. So I already have an image right here. But if you don't, you can go to our Pixabay tab and you can type in berries. And that will give you lots of images of different berries you can choose from. For instance, this is an interesting picture, and this is an interesting picture, and this is also nice. So I'm just going to pick any one of these 3. I'll pick these berries right here for now, and I'll click on download, and then click on download again. And then we're going to go back to our post, and then where it says drop files to upload, we're going to click on select files. Make sure we're in our downloads folder, and click on our berries that we just added. Then we want to click on set featured image, and now we have everything in place for a 3rd post. So just click on publish and then publish again. Give it a couple seconds, and then we should be good to go with our 3rd article. And now we're going to add our last article by just clicking the X right here, and then click on the W. And now we go to add new post, and this is going to be our last post. So for the title, we're going to put cherries, and then we're going to go to our Pixabay tab and type in cherries and see if we can get a nice royalty-free image here. And if we keep scrolling, I'm sure we'll find something usable. And we have a bowl of cherries right here, so we can use this. I'm just going to click on download and then click on download again. I'm going to go back to my tab right here, and I'm just going to paste in the text from before by doing Control V on Windows or Command V on Mac. And now we want to click where it says post. Click on where it says cherries for category. And for tags, I'll just type cherries and put a comma. Here we need to set our featured image. So just click on set featured image. Go to where it says select files. And then all we have to do is click on this image of our cherries. And then all we have to do is click on set featured image and click on publish. Click on publish again. And now we have our 4th post. So if we want to take a look at it, we can click on view post. And this is our 4th post. And if we go to the top and click on My WordPress, you're going to see 4 different posts here that we made. And what's also cool is our categories has now been built out because we have 1 post for each category. And it has a really nice posts you might like section down at the bottom, so that looks really good. So that's all really good. So what we want to do now is look at some other features of this blog. So for example, we have some social icons right here, which I'm going to get rid of these because we're going to use a different plugin for these. And I'm also going to show you what you can do for a logo. So for a logo, I'm going to show you my website. So this is my website, and I made a logo using Canva. And this is what my logo looks like right here. So now what we could do is make an image ourselves by going to a new tab and going to google.com, and then we're going to type in Canva. So we're just going to click on the top result here and click on create a design. And for a design, I'm going to click on logo. And this is where you can make your own logo. So I'll just show you how I made mine. So I went to text, and this little block of text right here, if you drag it onto the screen, you can see it has two sections to it. So we're going to right click and go to ungroup. And now you can just type, for example, and now we want to separate them. So I'm going to drag that down, and we're going to want to drag this into the middle and double click and type whatever you want here. So I'm just going to call this Berries 101, and I'm going to make it a little wider. So that looks good. Let me drag it right into the center. And it's a little big for me, so I'm just going to resize it a bit. Put it right in the center there. And then we have a little box right here. We could type whatever we want. And I'm just going to type and more, ... And I'm going to create this to be a little bigger. And I'm going to put it right here. And we could also change colors. So for example, this, we could change the background color by going to where it says, and we're going to, so now we can click where it says logos and site title. And for logo, I'm just going to select the image that I just created where it says berries, and then click on select. And we want to change this so that it fits the whole image. So if you just drag those up so that the whole image is selected, that's what we want. Click on crop image, and now we have a logo, and you can see it up at the top here. Now it's very small, so it's difficult to see, but this is one example of what you could do for a logo. So for example, if you wanted your logo to look a little bigger, you could go to where we had it before, and what you could do is just delete this little pillbox right here. Click on share, and then click on download. To click download again, and then go to your downloads folder, open the image, click on edit, and then do another crop, and we're just going to crop out the text here, and on the sides we're going to want to crop out that too. Go to save options, and then go to save as copy, and then click on save, but it already exists, so we click on no, and I'm going to add a letter to the end, and click on save, and it worked that time. So let's see if we go back to our website and change the logo for something that may be a little larger. Let's see if it looks any better like that. So let's click on select, and this is where we crop, so make sure everything is selected. Click on crop image, and there we go. So that looks better. So here's our logo for our website. Obviously this isn't the most fancy logo that you can make, but honestly, if you really wanted to go serious, I would go and open the website Fiverr, and that's fiverr.com. And then if you go to where it says search, you can type logo, or even it has a button here that says logo design, and you can get a really good logo made for between $5 and $10. So that's what you could do if you really wanted to take it seriously and have a nice logo. So Fiverr is really where you want to go if you want someone to create a professional looking image. I would give them the web address of your website so that they can see that you want the logo to fit and make sense with the website, because you don't want to get a logo back with a gray background, for example. So we're going to go back to our website right here, and I'm just going to leave this for the logo site. We just want to backspace this out where it says my WordPress, and we're going to type in berries 101. And tagline, you can put all kinds of information about berries. Okay, and I'm just going to fix my typo right here, and then click on publish. So now we have our tagline, a logo, and the site title. So if we click this button to go back, there's a lot of different features here that we could look at. For example, we could turn this off if we didn't want a news ticker. We could change the sidebar to have different things here. So for example, it says archives and categories. I, for instance, don't want archives. So I'm going to click on this little button right here where it says archives, and then it's going to open it in another tab. So I'm just going to click these three dots and then click on delete to get rid of that. So now what we want to do is create a business email address that goes with our new website. And with that email address, we can add a contact form where users can get in touch with you. And it also just looks more professional having an email address at your actual.com as opposed to something like a Gmail address. So what we want to do is open a new tab and put in our SiteGround URL, which is just siteground.com. Click on login. So what we want to do here is simply log in. And now what we want to do is make sure we're on our websites tab. I'm currently on the websites tab, but it doesn't show any websites. But if we go back and click off and then go back to websites, it pops up. So you might have to see if yours does the same thing, but your website should be definitely listed here. So what we want to do is go to where it says Site Tools, and then go to where it says Email. Go to Accounts, and this is where you can put your email address in. So for example, I'm going to type my first name, and then I'm going to set a password. Then click on Create. Now we have a real email address that goes with our website. Now if you want to get emails from this email address, what you can do is look at the online email program that comes with SiteGround. Or what you could do is use a program like Thunderbird, which is free, and you can set it up with this information right here where it says email configuration. But what we want to do now is set up a contact form. So this is our email address. So what we're going to do is go back to our blog, go to where it says Berries 101 and click on Dashboard. And then go to where it says Pages and then click Add New Page. And where it says Title, simply type the word contact, and at the top right, click on Publish, and then click on the X. So now what we want to do is click on the W at the top left, click on Leave Page if it asks you. Then we need to go to Plugins, and then we need to go to Add New. And where it says WP Forms, you want to install this. If you don't see this here, all you have to do is type WP Forms up in the search box and it'll pull it up for you. But mine's coming up right here, so I'm just going to click on Install. Then I'm going to click on Activate. And then I'm going to refresh the page. So where it says WP Forms, we want to click where it says All Forms. And you can see that there is currently no forms. So what we want to do is click Create Your Form. Click on Let's Go. And where it says Simple Contact Form, click on Use Template. And this is what our email contact form would look like if we left it as is. But I, for example, don't want where it says last name. So what we're going to do is simply get rid of this. So there should be a way to delete this by going to this little trash can right here and click on that. Then click on OK. So now what we want to do is add our own field here. So where it says single line text, click on that and drag it in. And we want to click on it, and where it says label, type first name, and then we have our first name field, an email address, as well as a comment. So that's all that's all really good. Now we want to save the form by going to the top right and clicking on save. Now we just want to change a couple things. So if we go to where it says settings, and then where it says notifications, click on that. So now that we've finished all this, what we want to do is click on where it says embed. And then what it's going to do is ask you what page you want to add it to. But what we want to do is click where it says use a shortcode. So just click on that. And then we want to click on this button here to copy it. Now we want to go back to our other tab, which is our contact form tab. And here it has a plus symbol and it says add block. So what we want to do is click on that. And we want to go and select shortcode. And if yours is not coming up right here, just click on browse all and keep scrolling down until you find it. So I'll show you where to look for that. If we go and we keep scrolling down, it's right here under where it says widgets. Just select that shortcode, and then where it says write shortcode here, just right click and then go to paste. And then at the top right, click on update. And then there's a little button right next to the update button where it says view page. Click on that. And you can see we have our contact form here. What we want to do though is add a heading. So go back to our other tab. So what we want to do is add a heading. So what you want to do is go to where it says edit page. We're going to add another block by clicking this plus icon. And then go to heading and type contact and type contact. And then drag it up by clicking on these 6 dots above the shortcode. Then click on update at the top right. And then go back to our contact form tab, refresh the page, and now you see it has our heading that says contact. So this is all really good. And what we want to do now is set up our contact form to be in line as far as email settings. So now all we need to do is link the contact form with the new email address that we set up. So all we have to do is go back to our other tab and go to where it says W. So now we want to go to where it says WP Forms and then where it says SMTP, left click on that. And then what we want to do is click install WP Mail SMTP. Now we'll go to where it says Open Setup Wizard. Click on Let's Get Started. Now for these options here, what you want to do is click on Other SMTP. Then click on Save and Continue. For SMTP host, you're going to get this information from our SiteGround tab. So just drag this over and then go down to where it says Account Name. So where it says SMTP host, all we need to do to get that information is go back to our SiteGround tab, and where it says outgoing server, simply select this whole bit of text right here by right clicking and then go to copy or Command C on Mac, and then go back to our other tab and paste it in. Then for encryption we want SSL. Scroll down a bit. For SMTP username, go back to SiteGround, select your whole email account right here, copy it, go back to the other tab and paste it in for username. And for password, this is what we typed in before. So what we want to do is type in our password from before. I have mine saved, and then keep scrolling down. And remember, this is a password that we set up with our email address specifically, not the web hosting. So if you use different passwords, you want to make sure that you're using the right one here. And then go down, and where it says from email, this is not what we want. We want to put in our actual email address. So if we right click and do paste, it'll put our email address here for the from field. And then all we have to do is click on save and continue. And then it has our saved password, but we're going to click not now. And if you scroll down a bit, click on save and continue. And this is something where you can get emails to your email address to help improve the plugin. So it's up to you if you want to do this. I'm going to click on skip this step. And then it asks for a license key, which we don't have because we're using the free version. So just click on skip this step. And now it's configuring everything, and it looks like there's a problem. So I'm going to go to where it says start troubleshooting and deal with this. You should be having no issues, but it looks like I probably put the wrong password or something like that. So what I'm going to do is send a test email. So I'm going to put the new email that I created. Click on send email, and then it says it was a success. So what I'm going to do is go to SiteGround again and go to where it says our email address. Click on these three dots right here, and then what we want to do is actually see the email. So we click on log into webmail, and this will take us to the webmail. And if you click right here, it says WP Mail SMTP test email, and this was something that got through. So now if we go back to our contact page, what we want to do is test it again. So I'll type in my first name, and I'll put in my personal email address here, and I'll just put test123, click on submit, and then I'm going to go back to our other tab that has our WP Mail SMTP up. So it says thank you for contacting us. Now what we want to do is go back to our webmail tab, and what we want to do is refresh the page. It says Berries 101, which is the name of our blog. It has our first name, our email address, as well as the comment that was left. So this is working completely fine. However, there is one thing that we can do to improve it, and if we just refresh our contact page right here, you can see there's no CAPTCHA. So CAPTCHA is basically something that's like a test for the end user to make sure they're not a bot. So if we left our contact page just like this, we would get spam emails most likely every single day, multiple times per day. So because we don't want that, what we want to do is add a CAPTCHA. So all we have to do is simply go back to our other tab, that's our WordPress tab, go up to our WP forms, click on settings, and then where it says CAPTCHA, click on that. Then click where it says reCAPTCHA, and then what we want to do is scroll down, and we want checkbox reCAPTCHA version 2. So this is what we want, and what you want to do is simply click where it says read our walkthrough. I'm going to open it in a new tab by right clicking and doing open link in new tab. And then what we want to do is kind of scroll down here and see what we want here. So we want to start with generating reCAPTCHA keys in Google. So simply click on that, and then click on this little link right here that says Google's reCAPTCHA admin console. I'm again going to open this into a new tab, and we want to put a label on it. So I'm going to type biz website tutorial, which is simply my website, but put your own domain name here if it's for you. And then where it says reCAPTCHA type, we want challenge v2, and we want to leave it at I'm not a robot checkbox. And for domains, we want to put our domain of our website. Click on submit, and now we have a site key as well as a secret key. So all we have to do is click where it says copy site key, go back to our form page where it says site key, paste that in, go back to our reCAPTCHA page, click on copy secret key, go back to our forms page, paste in where it says secret key, and then click on save settings. So now what we want to do is add this CAPTCHA to our form. So to do this, all we have to do is go to where it says all forms, then click on where it says simple contact form. Now what we want to do is go to where it says reCAPTCHA. So just click on that. Then it says Google checkbox reCAPTCHA version 2 has been enabled for this form. Don't forget to save your form. So click on OK. And you can see at the top right it says reCAPTCHA. So click on save, and now what we want to do is go to another tab, and then go to the main WordPress dashboard, go to where it says visit site, click on contact, and now you could see there's an I'm not a robot check here, which is going to cut down on your spam significantly. So now we have our whole contact page built out. So now what we want to do, now that we have our contact form set up and now that we have our business email address set up, what we can do now is set up our newsletter so we can start collecting names and email addresses so that we have a mailing list to market to for our blog. If you wanted to send an email blast to your subscribers, you could do that, and then you could get eyes on your new blog articles as they come out by using this newsletter feature. You could also market to your subscribers any paid products you have going on, such as cookbooks, such as digital courses, or anything like that. You could use that email list. And I'm sure there's many other reasons to have an email list, but those are just a couple. So what we want to do now is make an account on MailChimp.com. So what you want to do is open a new tab and type in MailChimp.com. So what we want to do is go to where it says sign up and click on that. And we're going to use the free tier, so just click on sign up free. For business email, we're going to use our email that we created on SiteGround. So I'm going to put james@bizwebsitetutorial.com. And for username, I'm going to pick a separate username that's relevant. So I'm going to put jamesbiztutorial. So just put your password in and then click on sign up. So now what we have to do is check our email. So I'm just going to go back to SiteGround and check our email. In case you don't know how to get there, I'll show you right now. Make sure you're logged out of SiteGround and go to relog in. And once you've logged in, it should show you your dashboard. So you should see a list of websites like this, but if you don't, click on the collaborations tab and then go back to websites, and then you should see your website or websites populate here. So I'm working with this website right here. That's where my business email is going to be. So you go to Site Tools, then you go to Email, and then Accounts, and then you should see the email that you created at the bottom of the screen. So what you want to do is go to these three dots, click on it, and then click on Login to Webmail. So now that we're in our email, you should see this MailChimp Client Services, activate your MailChimp account. Click on that and then click on Activate Account. Now all we have to do is log in. So once we've logged in, there's just a few things we have to put in. So I'm just going to fill that out right now. And we can leave this unchecked. Click on Next. Now we have to put in our address and a few more details. Then click on Next. And then you can click on Skip. Skip again. And skip. Then click on We're Not Currently Selling. And then click on Skip. So now we have to pick a category that most resembles what we're doing. So if you scroll down, there's one called Fruit and Tree Nut Farming. So I'm just going to pick that. And then click on Confirm. And for the plan, I'm going to want to go to free because it's only $0. And it lets you send up to 1,000 emails per month for no charge at all. So I'm going to go with free. Now what we want to do is create a form. So if you go to the top left and click where it says create, then what we want to do is go to where it says sign up form, and then go to where it says embedded form. Then we can click on begin. And you can see that the normal subscribe box only has an email address, but I think it would be pretty useful if we had the first name as well. So what we can click on is form fields, and then we can enable first name. And if we drag this up by clicking these 6 dots with our mouse and holding our mouse down, we can drag it up above the email address, and that looks good. Now we can click on continue, and it gives us some code that we can embed it into our website, but actually we might not have to do that. We might be able to do this all on MailChimp. So now what we want to do is go back to our website. So now that we're back on our website, if you go to the top left where it says berries, click on dashboard, and then go to plugins and click add new. Go to the top right and type MailChimp, and it's not coming up with anything, so I'm going to try putting MailChimp as one word. Click on search, and there we go. So this is the one that we want right here. Click on install, then click activate. So now all you have to do is refresh the page, and where it says MC4WP, go to where it says form. Then at the bottom left of the screen, there's first name and email address, as well as a sign up button. So everything here looks good, but you might not have a section that says first name. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So what we're going to do is erase this part that says first name, and we're going to click on it up here. Then click on add to form. Now click on save changes. Now what we want to do is select this and then go to our widgets. So go to appearance and then widgets, and then all you have to do is scroll down, and you can see our newsletter. Everything is in the same box. Now what we do have to change is this indentation. So if we right click where it says newsletter and then click on inspect, where it's highlighted over here, we want to right click, go to copy, and then go to CSS selector, or it may just say selector if you're using Chrome. So now we want to go to plugins and then go to add new, and then at the top right we want to type in simple space CSS. Where it says simple CSS, click on install, then click on activate, and then on the left hand side of the screen you're going to see this simple CSS come up, but first we have to refresh the page. Go to appearance and then go to simple CSS, and if you have anything in here, you probably don't, but if you do, just delete it. So you're going to paste in what we just selected before by right clicking and go to paste, and then put a left brace. So what we want to type is padding dash left colon 0 space exclamation point, the word important. Hit enter and put a right brace to close it out. Click on save CSS. Let's go back to our berries page, and you can see it's fixed here because I already fixed it, but let's refresh the page and it's still there. So you should notice that it moved the indentation over to the left. So this looks good, but now we have to fix these 2 red lines. So all we have to do is go back to our simple CSS tab, and we want to select what we did before and put it on a new line, and put a colon, another colon, and then the word before. Put another left brace, and this is where we want to type left colon 0 semicolon, hit enter, and then put a right brace, and then click save CSS. Go back to our website and refresh the page. So nothing worked, so what we want to do is go back and put exclamation point important, and then click save CSS and see if that's what we needed. So go back to our website, refresh, and that fixed it. So now if we go back to our simple CSS, we're going to fix this little part right here that's too far over. So click on simple CSS, paste in what we had before, put 2 colons in the word after, put a left brace, and then type left colon 7 REM exclamation point important semicolon, and then a right brace, and then hit save CSS, then go back to our website and then refresh the page, and it fixed it. So that looks really good now. So now we have a newsletter for your website with a first name and an email address form. We also have a contact form which goes to our business email. We set up a nice captcha here to prevent most of the spam that you would get. And now we just want to go over some finishing touches. So if we go to where it says customize, let's click on that. And what we want is our categories up here. We don't necessarily want all of these social icons because we're going to use a separate plugin for those. So what we want to do is first we're going to get rid of these social icons. So what we want to do is go to where it says header, and then click on where it says main header, and then where it says social links we want to drop this down, and we're going to want to click on delete. So that gives us a lot more extra space here. And there's also a subscribe button to the top right, which doesn't really serve us any purpose right now. So we're going to get rid of that by going to where it says button, drop it down, click on delete, and now we have plenty of room here. So what we're going to do is click publish, and then we're going to want to go back to our simple CSS tab, and we're going to want to go to where it says menus. And what we want to do is go to where it says sample page, drop that down and click remove. And now we want the categories, so if we click where it says categories and drop that down, these are all our categories for our website. So we want people to be able to access these easily. So if we just select all of these, click add to menu, and you can see they're all listed here. We want to make sure our contact link is at the bottom, so we're going to select that and drag it down. Then we want to click on create menu. And now what we want to do is where it says primary navigation, check that checkbox and then go to save menu. Now let's go back to our other page here, and what we're going to do is refresh the page. And now you can see not only do we have a home page and a contact page, but we also have all of our categories here as well. So this is really useful. So we changed that. Just so you know, there is a dark mode to this theme. So if we click on this, it changes everything to a dark theme. So that's pretty cool that we can do that. But I'm going to leave it on the light theme because I prefer the way the light theme works. And then I'm going to want to go to where it says Berries 101 and click on that. What I don't like is this little red circle that follows us around. So we're going to get rid of that. So the way we do that is go to where it says General Settings. Click on that. Click miscellaneous settings, and where it says cursor dot effect, open that up, and then click that button to the right, and then click on publish. And now you can see that little red circle no longer follows the mouse cursor around. So a couple of changes that I would like to see right now is this is clearly a search field. I don't feel that we need a header to say search, so I want to get rid of that. So what I'm going to do is go to our other tab where it says menus, and then I'm going to click widgets. So what we're going to do in widgets is we're going to click where it says optional placeholder, and then click these three dots and then go to delete. And then what we can do is go to the plus sign, click on that, then go to browse all, and then scroll down to where it says search, which is right here under widgets. So if we click that, all we have to do is drag it up with these 6 dots. So we're going to drag this all the way to the top. And where it says search, we're going to backspace that out. And we're going to click update. And let's see what that did. So I'm going back to our website, and we're going to refresh the page. And now we have a search bar without the heading. So that looks great to me. I'm going to leave that. And we have our contact page here, our newsletter, our categories. The only things left we have to do are add our social media plugins and fix the footer down here. So what we can do for footer 1 is go to click here to assign a widget. So what we want to do is click the plus, click on paragraph, and I personally am going to put the link to my YouTube channel here, but it's up to you what you want to put in your website. I'm going to click on embed, and then I'm going to click convert to link, and then I'm going to click on publish. So now what I'm going to do is go down to where it says footer 2, and then click on where it says click here to assign a widget. And then I'm going to click on the plus icon, and then we're going to go to where it says browse all, and we're going to scroll down until we find categories. And I found it right here under widget, so just click on categories list, and that is going to give our users a link to all of our categories at the bottom of our page. One thing we could use here is a heading, so I'm going to click on the plus, click heading, and I'm going to type categories, and then I'm going to drag this above the categories. So this looks good, so we're going to click on the publish button until you see it says published. Now we're going to hit the back arrow and go to where it says footer 3. For this, we're going to put in our MailChimp sign up form. I'm just going to go get that link real fast by going to our other tab and then going to our MailChimp and then go to where it says form, and where it says use the shortcode, we want to select that, right click and copy, and then go back to our other tab, click on the add block, and click where it says paragraph, and then simply click in there and paste in. It already detected that it was a shortcode, so that looks good. Now we want to add a heading, so click on add block, and where it says heading, click on that, and we're going to type newsletter, and then we're going to drag it above this shortcode, click on publish, and then refresh the page. Scroll down, and you could see that it has our newsletter here, and it also has our sign up. So, but to me, it looks like way too much extra space here. So we can solve this if we hit the X button and then scroll down again. You can see that for the categories, a lot of that spacing is already gone. And now we have newsletter with these sign up forms. So what we're going to do is get rid of some of this extra spacing by right clicking newsletter and then go to inspect, and then you just want to mouse down a couple till you get right here where you see that big yellow block, and we're going to select this, right click, and then go to copy CSS selector, or just selector if you're on Chrome. Now we go back to our other tab, go to appearance, go to simple CSS, go to the bottom of these three, paste it in, and then put a left brace, and then type margin dash bottom colon 2 rem semicolon, hit enter, and then put an ending brace, and then click save CSS. Let's see if that was enough to fix it. So now we're going to refresh the page, and you can see it didn't. I think the problem is we're not putting the exclamation point. So we gotta go back to our tab, and where it says 2 rem, we're gonna go right to where that semicolon is, and we're gonna hit space, exclamation point, important, and then hit save CSS, and then go back to our website in the other tab, hit refresh, and you can see it moved it up a little ways, and now it looks really good. One thing though that I noticed is that the first name field is longer than the email address field. So that's something that we can change as well. So now what I'd like to do is add a heading above our YouTube channel. If you don't have a YouTube channel, that's fine. But having a heading here I think would look a lot better. So I'm just going to go up to customize. And then I'm going to go to where it says widgets, footer 1, click the plus, go to heading, and I'm just going to type YouTube. I'm going to type R YouTube, and then I'm going to drag it up above that link, hit publish, hit refresh, and then scroll down, and you can see this looks pretty good. It says our YouTube, but one thing that's bothering me for some reason is that the our YouTube is going farther than the length of the underline. So I'm going to go back to fix that by going to widgets, footer 1, go to where it says our YouTube, and then I'm just going to put YouTube by backspacing that out. Click on publish, and then that looks good. So now all we have left to do is add a social media plugin. So to do that, we want to click on the X. So now what we want to do is add our social media plugin. So we just want to click on the X so that your screen is clear. And then we want to go to where it says Berries 101, go to Dashboard, go to Plugins, and then go to Add New. And we want to type in social media, hit enter. And we want social media and shared icons. So that's this result right here. So just click on install, click on activate, and now what we want to do is refresh the page. And you can see where it says ultimate social media icons at the bottom here. So let's just wait for the page to load. So what we want to do is expand these options. So we want to make sure we have these selected: RSS, email, Facebook, X, and YouTube. And then if we go down, hit save, go to the second number, we want email to do automatic updates for subscribers. And then if we scroll down, we want the email icon. And if we scroll down more, for Facebook, we want like my blog on Facebook, +1, as well as share my blog with friends on Facebook. And if we keep going down to X, we want this right here that says X post about my page. And then you could change this text if you want to. I have YouTube on mine because I have a YouTube channel. If you have a YouTube channel, you could definitely use this. But for the purposes of this video, so I'm assuming most people don't have a YouTube channel, I'm going to skip this. So just click on save. And then on number 3, where shall they be displayed? We want show icons after posts, and we want responsive icons. And we also want these 4 selected. We want Facebook, X, email, and then I'm also including Pinterest, but it's up to you if you want to include one of the others, such as LinkedIn. But I'm going to leave it at these 4. I'm going to scroll down, and where it says pages to show icons, we want after posts. Keep scrolling down and leave all this the same, all this the same. Hit save. So we don't want that sticky bar. Let's go back so I can show you. We do not want this sticky bar, and we want to make sure this has no restrictions, which it should, because it's the only option here, because we're using the free version. So I'm going to hit save again. I'm going to go to number 4, and I want it to say default, so we're going to keep the default here. And we keep going to the bottom and click on save. And then where it says number 5, do you want to display counts next to your icons? Click on that. And we want to scroll down, and we want to have the email selected where it says retrieve the number of subscribers. Facebook, retrieve the number of likes on your blog. So I had the wrong one entered. I had entered for X, we want retrieve the number of X followers. The problem though is we can't get access to these without going to Twitter and doing some steps. So we could go ahead and do this right now, and it might not be the worst idea, but I think for our purposes it's not really that important. So I'm going to uncheck this, and we're going to keep on going. Click on save, where it says for which icons do you want to show the counts. Make sure that all 3 of these are selected. Hit save. And for number 6, any other wishes for your main icons. All this is stuff that we want the defaults for, except where it comes to need different selection for mobile. We want that to say no. So these are pretty much all default settings that we want to keep. Keep on scrolling down. We do want new window to be yes. And for add no opener, we do want to say yes. Sticky icons, we want to say no. And sharing text and pictures, we want the defaults. Keep on going. And all this is all defaults. Just click on save. If we go to number 7, just expand it and take a look. All of this is pretty much defaults here, and I don't want to change anything, so I'm just going to hit save. And then it has, do you want to show a subscription form to increase items? We want that to be default, so we don't want to do anything with this. We're just going to uncollapse it by clicking on it again. We don't want anything to do with this, so we're just going to click this again. And then it says get advice for more shares and traffic. This we don't have to look at. Click save all settings. And now let's just open our page to make sure everything looks good. So go to Barry's 101, go to visit site. And then what we want to do is scroll down and let's go to this article right here for oranges. Click on that, go to the bottom, and we have our 4 buttons that we were looking for, and people can now share our posts on their social media. So everything looks good, so we're going to go back to the home page. There are some things that we can do. I want to show you some of the optional settings, but basically it's just in the customize section. If you go to hero, all you have to do is click on enable hero section, and then you get this really nice banner. So I just wanted to show you that as well. So if we enable the hero section, you can see that what we get is a very nice banner with an article inside. It tells you the date it was published, and it has a continue reading button. And I just thought that this looks really nice, and it's something that you can enable in your theme. And the thing that I like the most about it is that it puts the most recent post in the banner. So I thought this looked really nice, but it's up to you whether you actually want to use it or not. So I just wanted to show another feature of this theme. It's called featured posts, and what it is actually just 3 separate articles that you can put right at the top of your blog. And if you mouse over, it has a nice little effect to it. And there's some text you can put, and if they click on the image, it'll bring them to the blog post that you want them to see. So there's 3 of them, and you can put pretty much whatever you want. And this is an optional section of the blog, so you can either use it or not use it. But I did want to show you that it is something that you can make use of if you find the need for it. These will always stay at the top. If you have 3 articles, and no matter how dated they get, you want them to be seen no matter what, then having them in a featured post section makes a lot of sense. So this is just something that I wanted to show. So what I'd like to do now is fix these text boxes right here, because I'm noticing the first name and the email address, one is longer than the other. So to fix this is really easy. We want to go up to Barry's 101, then we want to go to dashboard, then we want to go to MC4WP, go to form, and where it says email address, what we want to do is take this part of the label, and we want to right click and do copy, and then backspace it out, and then backspace again, and then go to where it says email address, and then paste. Then what you want to do is scroll down and click on save changes. And now let's look at the website again by going to Barry's 101, visit site, right click, open a new tab, scroll to the bottom, and you can see now we have 2 text boxes that are the exact same size, and they are the exact same size here as well. So we just fixed that. So one thing that we are missing is a sticky header. So when you scroll down, you notice that the menu is not there anymore. So we can change that by going to header, sticky header, enable, and then hit publish. And now you can see the top menu bar will follow us as we scroll down the page. So that's a really useful thing you can do on this blog. There's another thing we can do. If we go to where it says header, and then we go to top bar and click enable top bar, what it does is gives us this nice bar at the top of the screen that we can set to whatever we like. For example, the text on the left here is just some icons. So you can see on the left hand side we have a calendar along with the date and the time. And then if we go down to where it says text and click on that, you can see that it has more social icons. It has an icon of a little arrow, like a GPS symbol. And then it says subscribe to our newsletter and never miss our best posts. And then it says subscribe now. So if you wanted to put a link, for example, where it says subscribe now, you could change it because there already is one right here. You would backspace out that pound sign and you would put your own address to change that. So yeah, if you liked the video and you're going to need to start from start to finish and you need a web host, please use the link in the description as opposed to typing it in. When you just type in the web address, you kind of bypass the way that affiliates like me earn commissions. So I greatly appreciate everyone that does click on the link below as opposed to doing it the other way, which will not give creators any commission or recognition for the work that they've put in. So I thank you again. I hope that this WordPress blog video was enlightening. I hope that it had everything in it that you wanted to see and everything that you needed. If you liked this video and you want to see more content like this, I'll be doing many more blog tutorials and website tutorials on this channel. So if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button, please hit subscribe and enable notifications so that you get notified when new videos are uploaded. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.